Jimi Hendrix called one guitarist better than himself. Steve Vai said another was the best player who ever lived. Some guitarists had the chops to outplay the legends. Fame went to others. Some died forgotten. Others were buried by band drama. Here are 12 overlooked guitarists who outplayed the legends. Number 12, Elliot Easton, The Cars. Berkeley trained with jazz fusion chops that rivaled anyone in the 80s. But new wave pop success buried everything. Let's Go and My Best Friend's Girl featured shredding that got dismissed as just another new wave guitarist, while Rik Emmett got all the attention.
She's the best friend's girl.
The guy in sunglasses became invisible behind synthesizers and catchy hooks. Listen to Just What I Needed, and you'll hear precision fretwork that most guitarists couldn't touch. The Shake It Up solo is pure rock virtuosity disguised as pop music. Jazz, rockabilly, and blues executed equally well, but massive commercial success meant critics wrote it all off. 70 years old, still playing, but most people have no idea they're hearing one of the most technically accomplished guitarists of his generation. The Cars sold 23 million albums, and the guitar work on every single one was criminally underrated. Number 11, Rik Emmett, Triumph. Canada's answer to Rush needed a triple threat weapon, someone who could play guitar, sing lead vocals, and write the songs. Lay It on the Line and Magic Power showcased the ability to blend classical training with hard rock power. The solo on Fight the Good Fight remains a masterclass in melodic shredding. York University classical guitar training meant seamless switching from fingerstyle acoustic to blazing electric leads. The instrumental Midsummer's Daydream proves classical chops. While Allied Forces demonstrates pure rock aggression. What Steve Vai would later make famous was happening here a decade earlier. Triumph sold millions of albums in Canada, but never broke through in the US like they deserved. Leaving the band in 1988 to pursue jazz and classical projects only proved what fans already knew. Too talented for one genre. At 71, still playing, still overlooked. Number 10, Danny Kirwan, Fleetwood Mac. Before Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks turned Fleetwood Mac into a pop juggernaut, guitar magic was happening with Peter Green. At just 18, joining the band and helping write Albatross, one of the most beautiful instrumentals in rock history. Slide work on Oh Well and intricate finger-picking on Danny's Chant showcased a player beyond his years. The tone was haunting and melodic. A guitar could weep on ballads like Station Man. Then Sue, Mental health issues and alcoholism led to being fired from Fleetwood Mac during a 1972 US tour. Smashing a guitar and refusing to go on stage ended everything. The Buckingham Nicks era erased him from history. Decades spent homeless and forgotten, dying alone in a London hostel in 2018 at age 68. Mick Fleetwood called him a brilliant guitarist whose contributions were essential. But the world forgot Danny Kirwan long before he died. Number 9. Phil Keaggy. Losing half your middle finger on your right hand at age 4 should end a guitar career before it starts. Instead, it created one of the greatest fingerstyle players in history. Technical ability rivals any guitarist alive, but the Christian rock label kept him from ever becoming a household name. The Wind in the Wheat is an acoustic masterpiece displaying impossible finger-picking patterns. Electric work on All Our Wishes proves shredding ability that matches anyone. Pioneering live looping in the 1980s meant building entire compositions on stage using nothing but guitar and loop pedals, decades before Ed Sheeran made it trendy. Paul McCartney reportedly called him one of the best guitarists in the world, but the Christian music label meant mainstream rock fans never heard his name. At 73, over 60 albums released. Genre pigeonholing robbed him of the recognition he deserved. Number 8. Martin Barre, Jethro Tull. "43 years with Jethro Tull, but Ian Anderson's flute and one-legged stage antics stole all the attention. That distinctive tone defined Aqualung, Locomotive Breath, and Cross-Eyed Mary. That crunchy, aggressive sound on Aqualung's opening riff? That's creating one of rock's most recognizable guitar moments. The solo on Aqualung is a masterclass in controlled chaos, building from melodic phrases to full distorted assault. Locomotive Breath features relentless rhythm work that drives the entire song. Progressive rock complexity handled while maintaining that raw, blues-influenced edge that made Tull's sound unique. Throughout lineup changes and Anderson's rotating cast of musicians remaining the constant. 43 studio and live albums with Tull recorded, a Grammy won, and countless prog rock guitarists influenced. But ask casual rock fans who played guitar in Jethro Tull, and they'll draw a blank. That's criminal. Number 7. Rory Gallagher. A Fender Stratocaster so beaten and worn from decades of playing that the finish was completely stripped off. That guitar told the story of an Irish blues rock master who played over 1,000 shows and influenced everyone from The Edge to Slash, yet never achieved superstar status in America. Jimi Hendrix once called him the best guitarist in the world. Playing on A Million Miles Away and Shadow Play showcased raw power and emotion. The live album Irish Tour 74 is considered one of rock's greatest live recordings, with extended blues workouts that demonstrated complete mastery. The instrumental Bullfrog Blues features slide work that makes other blues guitarists sound timid. "30 million albums sold worldwide, mostly in Europe. America never fully embraced him, and commercial radio ignored his brilliance. Death came in 1995 at age 47 from liver failure, worn down by decades of constant touring and drinking. The guitar gods knew his name. The world should have, too. Number 6. John Sykes, Thin Lizzy and Whitesnake. "23 years old and joining Thin Lizzy after legendary guitarists like Gary Moore and Brian Robertson had already left their mark. Work on Thunder and Lightning proved belonging there, and delivering aggressive twin guitar harmonies with Scott Gorham. Then came Whitesnake, and one of the 80s most iconic solos on Still of the Night. That solo remains a rite of passage for aspiring rock guitarists. Neoclassical runs combined with bluesy bends, creating a sound that defined 80s metal. Rhythm work on Is This Love and lead on Here I Go Again helped Whitesnake's 1987 album sell 8 million copies. Then David Coverdale kicked him out before the tour. The chops matched Vai, Satriani, and Eddie Van Halen, but getting fired from bands at peak performance became the pattern. Solo albums showcased virtuosity, but without a major band platform, fading from mainstream consciousness happened fast. At 67, still shredding, still underappreciated. Before we continue with number 5, I want to hear from you. How many of these guitarists had you actually heard of before this video? And which one surprised you the most? Drop a comment and let me know. And tell me where you're watching from. We've got viewers from Dublin to Detroit, from London to Los Angeles. Hit that like button if you're learning something new. And let's continue with number 5, Alvin Lee, 10 years after. Woodstock, 1969. 500,000 people watched Alvin Lee tear through I'm Going Home at blistering speed, his fingers flying across the fretboard faster than anyone had seen before. That performance made him a legend for one night, but commercial success never matched his technical ability. "10 years after sold millions of albums, yet Lee remained in the shadow of Hendrix, Clapton, and Page. Lee's playing on Love Like a Man showcased his blend of blues and rock with machine gun precision. The extended live version of I'm Going Home remains a benchmark for speed and endurance, with Lee maintaining breakneck tempos for over 10 minutes without breaking a sweat. His Gibson ES 335 became an extension of his body, producing a tone that was both warm and aggressive. He could play slide, fingerstyle, and flat pick with equal mastery. Songs like I'd Love to Change the World proved he wasn't just about speed. He could craft melodic, memorable guitar parts too. Lee died in 2013 at age 68, still underappreciated by mainstream rock fans who never understood they'd witnessed one of the fastest guitarists who ever lived. Number 4, Jan Akkerman, Focus. When Focus released Hocus Pocus in 1971, radio stations had no idea what to do with it. Yodeling, flute solos, and absolutely insane guitar work that didn't fit any format. But guitarists paid attention. Classical, flamenco, and rock blended into a style that was uniquely original, influencing everyone from Eddie Van Halen to Steve Vai. The solo on Hocus Pocus is a masterclass in controlled chaos, moving from delicate fingerpicking to full-throttle rock assault in seconds. The instrumental Eruption predated Van Halen's famous track by 7 years and showcased classical training. Acoustic work on Sylvia demonstrated flamenco technique that rivaled actual flamenco masters. Focus achieved massive success in Europe, but American radio never embraced them. Multiple Best Guitarist in the World polls won in the 1970s, beating out Page, Clapton, and Beck. Yet most American rock fans have never heard the name. At 77, still playing, still overlooked by the country that needed to hear him most. Number 3. Danny Gatton. Guitar Player magazine called him the world's greatest unknown guitarist in 1989. Steve Vai went further, saying Danny Gatton comes closer than anyone else to being the best guitar player that ever lived. Yet Gatton died in 1994 at age 49, having never achieved mainstream success despite possessing technical abilities that made other guitarists quit. Gatton could play anything. Blues, jazz, rockabilly, country, all executed flawlessly on his battered 1953 Telecaster. His instrumental nitpickin' showcases rapid-fire country jazz runs, pedal steel bends, Les Paul-style melodic phrases, and slide work all in one track. Joe Walsh studied Gatton's playing on free-form guitar and admitted, "In some places, I had no idea how he was getting his guitar to sound like that." Fellow guitarists nicknamed him the Humbler because he destroyed everyone in head-cutting jam sessions. His Grammy-nominated Elmira Street Boogie proved he could channel 1950s rockabilly better than players from that era. But record labels couldn't categorize him, and Gatton's refusal to be pigeonholed cost him stardom. Depression took him before the world recognized his genius. Number 2. Terry Kath, Chicago. Jimi Hendrix walked into the Whiskey A Go-Go in 1969 and watched Chicago's set. Afterward, he found saxophone player Walt Parazater backstage and said, "Your guitar player is better than me." Hendrix called Terry Kath the best guitarist in the universe. Then he hired Chicago to tour with him. That's how good Terry Kath was. Kath's 7-minute free-form guitar from Chicago's 1969 debut album featured proto-tapping techniques and experimental sounds a full decade before Eddie Van Halen's Eruption. His solo on 25 or 6/4 remains one of rock's most sizzling guitar moments, angular and aggressive with perfect tone. The ballad Color My World showcased his ability to play with restraint and emotion. Joe Walsh studied Kath's playing obsessively, but couldn't figure out his techniques. Chicago's horn section overshadowed him, and the band's commercial pop success buried his genius. On January 23, 1978, Kath accidentally shot himself while cleaning a gun. He was 31 years old. The world lost the guitarist Jimi Hendrix bowed down to. Number 1. Allan Holdsworth. Eddie Van Halen called him the best guitarist in the world. Frank Zappa tried to hire him multiple times. Steve Vai said studying Holdsworth's playing was like looking at another species. Yet Allan Holdsworth died in 2017 at age 70, with most of the world having never heard his name. He's the ultimate guitarist's guitarist, the player that legends worship, but the mainstream ignored. Holdsworth's approach to the guitar was revolutionary. He thought in terms of saxophone lines rather than traditional guitar phrasing, creating fluid legato runs that defied conventional technique. His work on Devil Take the Hindmost and Metal Fatigue showcased harmonic complexity that left trained jazz musicians baffled. He pioneered the Synthax, a guitar synthesizer that expanded sonic possibilities. His fusion albums like Out of Akkerman and Secrets influenced generations of progressive metal and jazz fusion players. Holdsworth's chord voicings were so unusual that guitarists still debate how he fingered them. He played with UK, soft machine, and gong, but his solo work defined him. Holdsworth lived modestly, never achieving financial success despite being worshipped by the guitar elite. He died broke and overlooked, the fate of the truly ahead of their time.